Good day everyone. In this video, we will learn factoring sum or difference of two cubes. Let us have a few lists of cubes. So 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, 5 cube is 125, 6 cube is 216, 7 cube is 343, 8 cube is 512, 9 cube is 729, 10 cube is 1000, 11 cube is 1331, 12 cube is 1728, 13 cube is 2197, 14 cube is 2744, and 15 cube is 3375. Now give the cube root of the following. Cube root of 27. What number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 27? That is 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of x cubed. How do we get the cube root of a variable? We simply divide the exponent of the variable by 3. So that is x. So cube root of 343. What number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 343? That is 7. So cube root of 8m to the 6th power. What number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 8? Then divide 6 by 3. So the cube root of 8m to the 6th power is 2m squared. Cube root of 64c to the 12th power. So what number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 64? Then divide 12 by 3. So that is 4c to the 4th power. Cube root of 512. Again, what number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 512? Okay, that is 8. So a cube, b cube. Again, we just simply divide the exponent by 3. So the cube root is ab. Okay, cube root of 125y to the 15th power. So what number will you multiply 3 times by itself to get 125? Then divide 15 by 3. So the cube root of 125y to the 15th power is 5y to the 5th power. Let us now factor sum or difference of two cubes. So the factors of sum or difference of two cubes are a binomial factor and a trinomial factor. Let's have the following examples. Example 1, factor a cubed plus 27. A cubed plus 27 is a sum of two cubes. And we know that the factors of sum or difference of two cubes are a binomial factor and a trinomial factor. So to get the binomial factor, we get the cube root of a cubed, which is a, and the cube root of 27, which is 3. Then we can now write these cube roots as a binomial factor. So if we are factoring sum of two cubes, its binomial factor is also a sum. Now, we have the trinomial factor. So, the trinomial factor is a squared minus 3a plus 9. So, how did we get a squared minus 3a plus 9? So, the first term of the trinomial factor is from the square of the first term of the binomial factor. Then the middle term of the trinomial factor is from the opposite of the product of the two terms of the binomial factor. And the last term of the trinomial factor is the square of the last term of the binomial factor. So the factors of a cubed plus 27 are a plus 3 times the quantity a squared minus 3a plus 9. Example 2 factor 8b cubed plus 27c cubed. So again, we have a sum of two cubes. So to get the binomial factor, we get the cube root of each term. So the cube root of 8b cubed is 2b. The cube root of 27c cubed is 3c. Then we can now express these cube roots as a binomial factor. So we have 2b plus 3c. So since we are factoring sum of two cubes, therefore the binomial factor is also a sum. So we have there our binomial factor. Now to get the trinomial factor, we square the first term of the binomial factor, which is 2b. So that will be 2b squared to get the first term of the trinomial factor, which is 4b squared. Then, the middle term of the trinomial factor is the opposite of the product of the two terms of the binomial factor. So, we have there 2b times 3c, which is 6bc. So, the opposite is negative 6bc. Then, the last term of the trinomial factor is the square of the last term of the binomial factor, which is 3c quantity squared. So, that will be positive 9c squared. So we have there our trinomial factor. So therefore, the factors of 8b cubed plus 27c cubed are 2b plus 3c times the quantity 4b squared minus 6bc plus 9c squared. Example number 3, factor 64c cubed minus d cubed. So we have now a difference of two cubes, but the factors are also a binomial factor and a trinomial factor. So to get the binomial factor, we get the cube root of 64c cubed, which is 4c. Then the cube root of d cubed is d. So we can now write this as a binomial factor. So since we are factoring difference of two cubes, then the binomial factor is also a difference. So we have now our binomial factor. So to get the trinomial factor, the first term of the trinomial factor is the square of the first term of the binomial factor. Then the middle term of the trinomial factor is the opposite of the product of the two terms of the binomial factor. Then the last term of the trinomial factor is the square of the last term of the binomial factor. So we have now our trinomial factor. So the factors of 64c cubed minus d cubed are 4c minus d times the quantity 16c squared plus 4cd plus d squared. Example 4, factor 8e cubed f cubed minus 125g cubed. Again, this is a difference of two cubes. So again, to get the binomial factor, we get the cube root of each term. So the cube root of 8e cubed f cubed is 2ef. Then the cube root of 125g cubed is 5g. So we can now express these cube roots as a binomial factor. Since we are factoring difference of two cubes, therefore the binomial factor is also a difference. So our binomial factor is 2ef minus 5g. Okay, then to get the trinomial factor, square the first term of the binomial factor to get the first term of the trinomial factor. So we have there 2ef times quantity squared is 4e squared f squared. Then, get the opposite of the product of the two terms of the binomial factor to get the middle term of the trinomial factor. That is 2ef times negative 5g, which is negative 10efg. So the opposite is positive 10efg. And then, square the last term of the binomial factor to get the last term of the trinomial factor, which is negative 5g quantity squared. So that is positive 25g squared. So that is now our trinomial factor. So therefore, the factors of 8e cubed f cubed minus 125g cubed are 2ef minus 5g times the quantity 4e squared f squared plus 10efg plus 25g squared.